Well, the war was fought mainly in the countryside. So people living in the big cities like Saigon, we were somewhat insulated, except when the war came to us, like during the Tet Offensive. But I experienced the war um, through my interviews with the insurgents and the North Vietnamese fighters for the RAND Corporation for a research project for the Defense Department. So I was living the war in real time through their eyes. And my most immediate experience with the war was when I visited a ward full of war victims. And that was the closest I came to what the war was doing to the people of Vietnam. And of course, in Saigon, there were a lot of beggars who were maimed by the war, or orphans who were living in the street, and refugees who were pouring into Saigon and living in horrible conditions. So I experienced the war through them more than through direct experience.
How would you say your view of these fellow Vietnamese, did it change your view of the war? Did it change your view of the nation? Did it change your view of the world as, I mean, such a unique opportunity that so few of your fellow countrymen and women had?
Yes, I came from a very anti-communist family. So, of course, my family was for the war and welcomed the American intervention. And I share their view that the war had to be won and the communists had to be defeated. But as I lived the war through my interviews with the insurgents and the poor peasants who were caught in the war, and my seeing the victims of the war in Saigon, in the streets of Saigon, in the hospital, I began to change my views because I thought that it was unjust for the peasants to pay for the cost of the war, while people like us, who had so much to lose if the communists had won, were somewhat insulated from having to pay the price for it. So eventually my views changed, and I wanted the war to end, and I didn't care who won the war by the end of it. I just wanted the war to end.
Did you discuss that with your staunchly anti-communist family at the time, and what were those conversations like?
I have to admit that I didn't dare to talk to them about it because I think they would have upset them very much. That I was, in fact, kind of betraying my family. And I was too scared to talk to them about it, especially to my father, who was so afraid of a communist victory because he thought that he would be killed and all of us would be killed. So I kept it secret from them. I never told them about my anti-war activities in the United States, visiting Congress and trying to convince congressmen and women to stop funding the war. But, I never talked to my family about it. I was too cowardly to talk to them about it.